When my wife, Sarah, started her new job, I thought it was just another fresh chapter for us. She had been excited about the opportunity, talking endlessly about how it was the break she needed in her career. I wanted to support her, so when she invited me to a company dinner during her first week, I happily agreed. The evening started smoothly. Everyone was polite and professional, and Sarah blended in well, laughing with her new colleagues. I stood by her side, proud, until the moment of introductions came. With a bright smile, she gestured toward me and said, "This is my roommate, Alex." The word roommate landed like a blow to my chest. A few people chuckled, assuming it was a joke, but she didn't correct herself. I forced a grin and played along, saying, "Yes, the roommate. Though some people call it a husband." A few awkward laughs followed, but Sarah's eyes shot me a warning glance, as though I had crossed a line. The rest of the night, I couldn't shake the unease. Why would she call me that? Why was she hiding our marriage? On the drive home, I asked her directly. She brushed it off, saying, "I just didn't want to complicate things at work. People can be weird about relationships." I nodded, but the seed of doubt had already been planted. Days passed, and I started noticing things I hadn't before. She stopped wearing her wedding ring to work. Her phone was always face down on the counter, and she was suddenly too tired to talk in the evenings. When I asked about her colleagues, she gave vague answers and quickly changed the subject. The roommate comment replayed in my mind again and again. It wasn't just an innocent slip, it was intentional. She wanted her coworkers to think she was single. And I began to wonder why. One evening, I decided to surprise her by dropping by her office with lunch. But when I walked in, she wasn't at her desk. A coworker smiled and said casually, "Oh, Sarah's out with Daniel. They usually go to lunch together." My stomach tightened. I didn't know who Daniel was, but the way her coworker said it made it sound routine. That night, I asked her about it. "Who's Daniel?" I said. She froze for a second too long before answering, "Just a colleague. We've worked on a few projects together." She laughed nervously and tried to wave it off, but the doubt inside me grew louder. I started paying attention. She'd stay late at the office more often, sometimes coming home hours after everyone else had left. Her excuses felt thin, rehearsed. My wife, who once used to call me every chance she got, now barely looked at me when she was home. The breaking point came when I checked her laundry basket one weekend. Tucked inside one of her blouses was a faint cologne scent, definitely not mine. My heart sank. It wasn't just my imagination anymore. I confronted her that night. At first, she denied everything, her voice trembling as she tried to act offended. But when I mentioned Daniel's name and the cologne, the color drained from her face. She realized the truth was out. Finally, she admitted it. "I didn't want anyone at work to know I was married because I've been seeing him. It just happened, Alex. I didn't plan it." Her words were like knives. She had erased me from her professional life to make room for someone else. I stood there, numb, staring at the woman I thought I knew. She had called me her roommate, and in her heart, that's exactly what I had become, a placeholder, someone she shared space with while giving her affection to another man. That night, I packed a bag and left. The title of roommate wasn't a slip of the tongue. It was the truth she had already been living, and I had been blind to see it.